Hi, everybody. This is Pamela Belen, and I am here today to share a special little treat with you. It's probably a bigger treat for me, but we'll find out. There might be a few of you who might walk away from this video wanting this deck. So I'm doing a deck unveiling. There's a little bit of a backstory on it. It's called the Silicone Dawn Tarot Deck, and it was originally released in Europe, I think specifically in Italy, and in 2011, I believe, so about 10 years ago. And there's only one edition available. And when I saw this deck, maybe about 5 years ago or so, I remember putting it on my little list of decks to buy. And I was just kind of won over by the 1960s or 1970s version of what they thought the future would look like, kind of animation. So it's a really interesting looking deck, as well as just the animation is just so cute. It really just makes me smile. I think the fact that it makes me happy is what made me decide. Just recently it popped back into my mind, and I thought, how much is that deck? And then I went online, and I was really, so it apparently it's out of print at this point. It has been for a while, so there's only the first edition, and it's quite hard to find. So I was looking at some of these prices, and originally the deck went for about $100, and I've seen prices up to about $1,000 that people are paying for this deck. So I was a little disheartened, but I did a little digging, and I did not pay anywhere near that. I actually bought it much closer to cost. And it's a deck that, this deck in particular, the one that I received, is a deck that is new, but just kind of, because it seems like the owner bought it and it just sat on a shelf for, you know, almost a decade now. And, it happens. Sometimes we think we really like something, and then we buy it, and then we realize maybe later, and then we kind of forget about it, or life gets in the way. Whatever the reason is, no judgments at all. But so it's got some shelfware, but luckily enough, she never actually used the cards. So that was more important for me, the fact that there was no wear on the cards, and that there was an instructions booklet, because as you'll see, this deck is a little bit different than your typical tarot deck. So anyways, so it arrived about a week ago, and I've been holding off on opening it up so that I can share it with you guys. So this will be my first unveiling. I hope you like the deck, and I'd love to hear some comments, so feel free to go ahead and just leave me some comments about what you think about the cards, or a little bit of history behind it. Whoops. All right, so Silicone Dawn, and as you see here, it does mention that it is a 78 card tarot deck. It has a major arcana, minor arcana, and then it's got a few extra special cards that give this its own personality and its own vibe, right? So here's a little bit of a taste of the animation you'll see. So I just think it's a very sweet, and I don't know, it's just a sweet animation that really did something for me. So take a look back here. You'll see that it's translated in a few languages, and I believe it's because it was released in Europe that this is going on. There's the side. There we go. That's who originally released this. Lo Scarabeo. So I believe that means the scarab, which hello, there's a picture, so I was not cheating, but seems like I did. All right, and then there's the other side of it. So it's a nice heavyweight box. I like the quality of the box, so I can tell that even though the previous owner had this on a shelf and it was sitting around, as you can tell probably from some of the normal shelf wear, just the edges a little bit frayed, and this is kind of sunken in a little bit, but I don't care about the box. I care about the inside. So let's take a look inside. And now here we go. So there's the instruction booklet. The tarot, I'm sorry, I was saying it the other way around, but it's actually the tarot of the Silicone Dawn. So this again gives you a little bit of a taste of the kind of animation you'll find throughout this deck. Very futuristic, like I said again, kind of like just kind of like a cool tarot version of like Star Trek-y kind of vibe to it. Yeah, I just really love it. So if we take a look here at the inside of the box, we'll also see that it shows that there's a major arcana. Here's the cup suite. Suit. The sword suit, the pentacles, the wands, and then here it kind of shows a little bit of the extra cards. So you know that you've got a few extra cards here, which again, like I said before, it just kind of gives it its own vibe. So let's put these aside and take a look at this book. Nice big book. I appreciate that. I feel like those tiny little books, my vision's not that great, so it's hard for me to read those. So I appreciate a larger book. And there we go. There's the languages, different languages that it shows here. French, Spanish, Italian, German. So let's see. Here we go. So yeah, so see, Los Carabio, 2011 it was released. Looks like, I'm sorry, shows it here. And then over here it shows that it's got all the, I would imagine, the descriptions of the cards. And then it's also translated in 4 different languages. So, this book is probably only a quarter of it is going to actually be relevant to each person that's reading it. So that's good too. I appreciate short and sweet. I've been doing tarot long enough to know the meanings, and I also work very intuitively. So I need minimal information. But for someone who needs more information, they might have to either buy a separate book or go online or something along those lines. But here we go. Again, just a little bit of a taste. I believe this card right here is the one that really won me over. I remember seeing this and it just reminded me of those vintagey cartoons I used to watch as a kid. And that's what made me put it on my list. It's not what made me buy it, but it is what made me put it on my list. But let's see. So there we go. Here's the sword suit. Just playful and fun, but adult at the same time. Here we go with pentacles. And just see just short descriptions. The 2 of Pentacles. There's a keyword, will, and then a longer description. Here's the wands. Again, very, very cute. And then we have the major arcana over here on this side. Okay, and here's a little bit of instructions on the extra cards. The Void Suit, it's called, as you can see. An alternate strange arcana. That's so fun. That's so fun. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I'm getting chills down my back. I'm so excited. All right, so then the rest of this would be other languages, I would imagine. So there you go. So you've got a considerable amount of instructions or information on the card. So even though the card itself or the makeup of the deck is a little different, it comes with instructions, so we can always figure it out. So now onto the pièces de résistance, the actual cards. So it's got, you know, your little ribbon to pull it out, which I always appreciate. A little extra help as well. So, and then it's got 2 decks here. Not 2 decks, sorry, but 2 piles to create the deck. And there's your intro card, just introducing the name again in different languages, and then of course the publisher, and then just a little watermark of the back of these cards. So this looks like some sort of like futuristic black hole type of background. Nice and simple, no metallic edging, which I really love when I get a deck with metallic edging, but that's what markers are for. I'll use a marker and just kind of edge them, probably in black. I think that will look really nice. So let me open these up. As I said, you know, the person I bought these from did not lie. These are brand new, so I have to actually unseal. All right, here's one side. Okay, so these cards are 10 years old, but they're brand new, so you gotta love it. There we go. All right, so yeah, the card quality, let me just spread these out a little bit so you can, yeah, I think it's supposed to, I guess that's the whole void portion of the cards and all that. And then there's another one over here. Just hold these up a little bit closer so you can get a good view. That's what the cards look like. It's kind of like you're floating in space in this sort of void black hole. So since they called it the void arcana, I like it. I like they're just kind of staying in character. I'm not really sure what to call it. All right, so as you can see, it's a considerable amount of cards. Right. What I love though is, oh my gosh, I just love. Oh, I get so excited. I just saw some of the artwork. All right, so actually, let me hold them this way so you can really get a feel for how big they are, which is not very big at all. They're kind of like the size of playing cards, which I like. I actually like a smaller card because it allows me to shuffle much easier. The card stock is average, if I'm quite honest. So, you know, it's not, it doesn't have the edgings. It's, the card stock is not super strong, but it's decent. I have many cards that have this quality of card stock, and it's fine. So as long as it doesn't wear, especially with the black, so much black, it could have a tendency to kind of start to kind of do this, right? So I'll be using a marker probably in black and just edging the deck so it doesn't look so like this. It's not a big deal. It's just a pet peeve, not a pet peeve of mine, but just a preference of mine to have metallic edging. So anyways, I'll get past that. Let's take a look at the artwork. So see, it just has like a very, I mean, this guy looks like the green Hulk. I was gonna say. It's pretty funny, but all right. Anyways, we have the description up here of the cards. Also down here on the bottom, it is a smaller card, so it's a little harder to read them, but I'm sure after some time it'll be easier. Maybe I'll make 3 piles. It'll be easier to decipher what I'm looking at here. But all right, so this looks like a queen of something. I'm going to go ahead and just assume it's the Queen of Pentacles, or the equivalent of the Queen of Pentacles. But see, just really, I like how small it is. Oh, look, see? That's really thin card quality because I didn't even realize I was holding on to 2 cards. But there you go. There's another one. Construction worker. Oh, I love the fact that there's a little diversity. And so I do know that this card was originally also kind of not by the publisher or the creators, but it was kind of marketed as a quote-unquote queer deck. And I don't know how true that is, but I'm all about a diverse deck anyway, so here we go. Some more futuristic, astronomical kind of views. Oh, I love this card. Look how beautiful this is. This is the Ten of Staff. That's a beautiful card right there. It's very poignant, right? You can kind of feel her mood. You can feel the dog kind of giving that little "Are you okay?" sniff that pets, they can tell when we're not happy and they come and try to comfort us. But here's another one. It's beautiful with the green. Family sitting down to dinner. Futuristically, they're living underground. That's great. That's a great image. I have a feeling this deck is the kind of deck where you're kind of taking your time to really get to know these cards, even if you know tarot very, very well. You've been doing it for a long time. I feel like there's a lot of symbology there. So it's kind of, it looks maybe like a whimsical, fun, light deck, but I feel like there's a lot of symbolism with that. The volcano in the background. Wow, that's really... I'm going to try not to spend too much time on these cards just because... Oh. Here we go. So these are the special cards. Let me save these for later. Oh, actually, let me not save them. Why? We just live once. Let's just use it. So here's one of the special cards. There you go. So this is one of those special arcana cards or void cards that they talk about. I'm going to kind of put it in a separate pile, maybe over here. Here's another one. And I don't know if you can see it, but it's not a watermark, but it's a white colored version of that black hole. There we go. So that's interesting. They do a little bit of reading and see what that's all about. Here's another one. And now I believe we're getting into potentially, oh no, yeah, this is the alternate. Look at it. Look at that. That is just beautiful. Look at her. Ah, or them. Who knows? I kind of feel like there's also a gender neutrality, if I remember correctly, reading about these cards. There's another one. Oh no, now starts the major arcana. So there we go. So there's the Fool. These I like to look at a little more carefully. There's your Fool. She, he, they are running into a new adventure. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. I kind of want to keep them separated. So we'll put them over here. Wow, look at this. That's just so beautiful. This is exactly what I was talking about. Like when I saw this, I just had to have them. So happy I get to actually share these with you guys. Look at that. Oh my gosh. I love it. And the color, I think the color is not being done some justice. So I will say that as well. There's like a mystery to this, but there's also a much, much more saturated color in person. So just a little FYI for you guys. So this is probably the more risque card. Also the last card. When you're kind of researching this deck, you'll see that this card is always the one that shows up kind of last because it's so risque. So yeah, just keep this in mind. I believe this is as risque as it gets, but keep this in mind as well if you have children or you don't want them to see that, or you don't want to see that. This is probably just another card that goes with the beginning over there. Oh, here, oh no, here's more void cards. Okay, so here's another one. There you go. So you've got the back of the card and the front of the card. Kind of so it's hard to show you, but yeah, you might be able to see it there. There's sort of a like a black on black engraving on the edges. So that means something. I'll have to keep those separately as well. Just maybe put it on top of the cover there. Here's another one. Oh, so here starts the pentacles. So look at that, the Page of Pentacles. Beautiful. I love it. I love the black background also. I really do like that. This is great. Oh my gosh. This is a great card. Sorry, I'm trying not to be selfish, but I can't help it. Oh my god. Ah, that new deck feeling, right? Okay, so there's one. Oh, beautiful. Look at this detail. And just a color combination. It's so simple, but I really love this. Really gorgeous. Okay, so here's another one. And this one has a different kind of engraving. So I don't know if you saw, you can kind of see, I hope you guys can kind of see this. It's a black on black, very light relief, I believe it's called in the art world, where it's just, I can feel it. I definitely feel it. But you can barely see it, but it looks like it's a person maybe standing on a beach or something like that. Let me see if I can, there we go. I doubt it's a beach considering the theme of the deck, but maybe just out in some water or something like that, out in the cold, I don't know. And it just has a sea on the top, so we'll find out what that is at some point. Oh, busted. It has kind of a busted feel to it, but very cute. Again, it's so mysterious. Somehow it manages to be like retro and futuristic, and at the same time just kind of colorful and innocent and whimsical, and then just really sexy and risky, you know, with its images. I like the fact that there's diversity now that I pulled this card. I've been seeing different, everyone is being represented here, I believe, and I like that. I'm trying to get just to focus on this. There we go. Okay. Sorry guys, this deck has 99 cards, and I'm going to go through every single one of them, so if you have the time, definitely check them out. If this deck calls to you, I would definitely recommend these. They're just so different. I haven't really seen anything like this. I'm not a big animation person, but this really calls to me. Maybe it's just that European whimsy, I call it. My family is from Spain, and they tend to have this kind of innocence and mischievousness to them that's really endearing, and I love it. I kind of feel it reflected in these cards somehow, if that makes any sense at all. But of course, I'm not talking about, I don't want to make sweeping generalizations about entire groups of people, but just, this is a beautiful card. This is quite lovely. There we go. That's really beautiful. Okay. Ah, look at that. Gorgeous. Three of Pentacles. Beautiful. Kind of making a mess of these. I'm probably going to have to rearrange them. It's a great card too. Giving me a little bit of vertigo though, so we'll move on. Oh, that's a great image right there. Look at that. Beautiful. And then here's another one of those void cards. Again, a little more of the raised image. So it kind of looks like someone floating in space potentially. Yeah, there's kind of like a little shuttle, and that might be an astronaut just kind of floating. So it could be kind of like a hanged man version or something along those lines. Oh, look at this. Beautiful, beautiful use of color. It's simple and it's and complex at the same time. I love it. Look at that image. There's another one. I'm trying to get them to focus. What? Some focus. Oh, there we go. Quickly and some not so much. So I'm sorry for any delays. Oh, how did I do it last time here? It's a queen of some kind. Oh, look at this. How cute is that? That is such a cute little image. It's beautiful. Makes me want to just hug it. Look at this. That's a great image. It's gotta be the Ten of Swords. Although there's like, yeah. Oh, I thought I saw a big giant needle, but now they're just all swords. Beautiful. Here we go. There we go. Just waiting for them to focus before I move on to the next card. I want to make sure you guys get a good view at all these cards. Look at that. That looks like old school vintagey cartoons that I was talking about. Amazing. Brings me back to my childhood. I think that's what's happening. My inner child is just jumping for joy right now. Look at that. That's a great image as well. Oh, I love this. Definitely love this card here. Gorgeous. Really beautiful. Here's another one with a different edging. What does this look like? Kind of looks like a person at a party or something like that. You can kind of see there's a group of people in the background, maybe. I have my glasses on, so I'm definitely not gonna blame it on my vision, but yeah, it's just kind of hard to see here on the camera. Oh, there we go. I'm taking a look just in person. It's much easier to see. So here I'm just reflecting off the light to help you guys see this, but in person, just take note that it's much, much easier to see this. So if that's a concern of yours. There's another sweet looking card right there. Again, loving the diversity, appreciating it very much. These guys were ahead of their time, I feel like, because now we see more diverse decks, but maybe back in 2011, I don't think so. Not that it was a tremendous amount of time ago, but yeah, I don't think in 2011 many decks showed any kind of real diversity in the cards. It's an interesting image. I like that. Queen of Cups. So this is my significator. Is that it? I never can tell if it's significator or significant, but I don't know if that second one's an actual word, so I'm going to call it a significator. So this is my significator. I love her. I love the color. I love the fun. Oh, see this again, just the childhood stuff I keep talking about, because it's just for some reason very important to me here. I loved it when I saw it in this deck. This definitely looks like vintagey Sex in the City or something like that, out for drinks. So it's kind of like the child in the woman's body getting real joy out of seeing some of these cards. There's more of this space or futuristic influence. Here's another risque-ish. I don't know. It's so hard to say. You know, it's so different for everybody. For me, this is not risky at all, but I could see how some people might find it risky, and I respect that. I just want you guys to see this so that if you decide to buy this deck, you're prepared. Party's over. 8 of Cups. All right, leaving that party. Look, even diversity in body sizes, body shapes. I feel like this is a full-figured person here, and again, not something you normally saw. I think, like, you rarely see it now. You know, here we are in 2011. Beautiful. This card is just gorgeous. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Oh my gosh, love it. Ah, this one's super simple card, right? Super simple image, but I love it. Yeah. Just minimal details, very simple, these cards, but I feel like they tell a big story. That's what I think I like, at least for me, you know. And as we all know, if we read tarot cards, that connection is so important. It's necessary, and you'll get it with some cards, and you may love the artwork on a certain set of cards, and then you pick them up or touch them or try to work with them, and then you're just like, oh, they don't get me, and I don't get them. Now I don't know what to do with this deck. Might have been what happened to the person who owned these previously. All right, I've got about 15 more cards to go, just to give you a little heads up. Just want to take, I don't want to spend too much time. Oh, look at this. That's interesting. So here's another void card. Here's the back and then the front. Just that simple design right there. And a reflection of me and my equipment. I'm not sure what that is, but there it is. Alright, so there's another one of those void cards. That's an interesting card. This might be one of the special ones. Oh no, this says the universe. Oh, and it's 21, so yeah, this is the world card. Oh my god, I love it. I just came into focus with the image itself. Pure potential. I think the low details really does just kind of like make it a very powerful image. Oh, and here it is. So this is, I was wondering where this card went. This is the image I saw that made me put this on my list. It's the Judgment card. I would never have guessed that. But I love me a good jazz bar, so it just kind of reminded me of that. Reminded me of, like, again, just vintagey old cartoons I used to watch as a little girl. And when I saw it, I was like, I'm going to put this on my list. We'll see if I get it someday. And here I am many years later holding it in my hand. So, oh, this has to be the sun. Look at that color. Beautiful. See, fun, light, sexy, I don't know, futuristic, question mark. Look at this moon. Oh my god, I love it. That's a beautiful card right there. That's a beautiful image. Here's the star. A little bit of hope. It's great. I think it's interesting that the faces are kind of not in, you know, there's no detail on faces really. Not much anyways. In some of them there are, but overall I would say, oh, I love this card. Oh my god, I have a treat for you guys. I just found my favorite tower card ever. Look at this. I mean, come on, that's just so different and original and not terrifying, although it's not exactly uplifting, but I think they use the colors to kind of soften the blow a little. So, Although I'm getting quite comfortable with the tarot card lately. I don't know if that's happened to any of you. If it has, let me know in the comments. Look at that devil right there. Sexy little devil. That's a great card. Wow. Okay, and then Temperance is another beautiful card. Wow, I think the Major Arcana right now is becoming my favorite part of this deck. Let me know what you guys think. This is a beautiful Temperance card. Oh wow, look at this. Death. Black and white. But yeah, there's just a lot going on there. But I love the black and white effect to it. The rain, the moon. And there's a certain sense of, I feel kind of like a sense of joy in this death card. Which is quite rare. I have another deck that kind of shows it in a really positive way, infinite potential. But this seems almost like they're jumping to death. Like they're like, yeah, let's do this. Let's transform, please. It's time for something new. All right, and then here's another one. That's a great card too. The infamous Hangman. I like that we can't tell. I think, right? Unless I'm missing it, I think we can't tell what gender it is because it's not about gender. It's about, even though it's called the Hangman. But with this one, I noticed they don't actually put the name of this card. So, maybe kind of keeping true with the diversity and not even giving a gender. So this is, obviously a person in chrysalis just waiting. So that's pretty cool. It's a cool image. That's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful justice card right there. Fierce, sweet, great coloring. Oh, love it. Oh my gosh. There's a fun card too. So there's the wheel. And that looks very Italian to me, just kind of something you'd see probably in Carnival in Venice. That's awesome. Again, another beautiful card. Look at this Hermit card. That's just great. Wow. Okay. It's an interesting card as well. So in this deck they call it Fortitude. Same difference, but I like those little, I guess, the details of something a little bit different. It's very cool. That's an interesting image for the Chariot, don't you think? That's like a, yeah, oh my gosh, they're doing like a Helen of Troy kind of, like a play off Helen of Troy or something along those lines. Putting her together to like, oh, that's an interesting one. I'm gonna have to, sorry, you're all being privy to my thought patterns when I'm looking at new decks. Nothing too exciting, but yeah, just me trying to piece this together. All right, let me not spend too much time on, I don't want to make this a 2-hour unveiling, but I'm just so excited by these images. This one also has a little bit of a texture to it, reflection, as you can see. I guess to give it that underwater feel. So that's the Lovers. All right, we're coming down to like maybe the last 5 cards. Oh, it's a great card too, great image. Look at that Emperor. Fierce, fierce, fierce. I love it. Look at that. I've also seen this image before and it did catch my eye as well. The Empress. Oh, the High Priestess. Oh my gosh, I know my friend Rebecca will be so happy with this card. This is really beautiful. That's a beautiful, beautiful card right there. That's awesome. Look at that. Again, body positive, inclusive. Again, a little bit of reflection, just a little bit of texture up here. Even here somewhere, I feel something going on. But yeah, overall, I just love the inclusivity of this deck. Oh my gosh. Oh, I've seen this one too, and that's a great image as well. So that's the Fool. They're not just jumping, they're jumping with style. She's even showing off a little bit of it. So cute. Oh my gosh. All right. And here's another Fool. So this has to probably be part of this, the Void, these extra cards that come with this deck. I believe I mentioned it, but I'm not really sure now. Here's another Fool. Wow, there's a few Fools here. So I believe I'm counting 3 Fools so far. Here's a black and white one. Try to keep them together. And then history. So this is be those special cards. Like I said, keep in mind of the fact that it's 99 cards in this deck. So we just went through a pretty large amount of cards. Not considerably large. I'm acting like it's 2,000 cards, but no, it's not. It's just an extra handful basically. But I think it just adds so much depth. So beautiful. There's no card that I just saw that I wasn't intrigued by. Maybe didn't love, but I kind of feel like it's going to take me a while to really go through each one. I think I'm going to read the book. I usually don't. I could usually kind of toss those aside and kind of do my own thing because I like to work intuitively, but I may actually read the book and see what nuggets I may find in there of new information, wisdom, especially with this Void deck. You know, these cards over here, it's just so interesting to me. Just all these Void cards with different images that are kind of imprinted on them. All of that is really intriguing to me. So definitely will have to read the book, if not for anything else, just for that, for those cards, those Void cards. So there you go. Again, this deck is, well, it's probably easier to show you here, the Tarot of the Silicone Dawn. And I believe here in the US it's been distributed by Llewellyn, which is a very well-known New Age, for lack of a better word. I don't really know what else to describe it as, but just the occult and all that. Products, whether it's decks or cards, decks, cards, same thing. Books, any of those things. They're easy to find. If you have any questions for me, you can post them down in the comments. I'll answer all of them. This deck, I hope I did it some justice. I'm so excited to start working with these. So I think I'm going to shut off the camera now and go ahead and do that. So have a great day. I hope you enjoyed this unveiling, and there'll be more to come because, as we all know, we all love to get new decks and we're inspired by them, and we want to kind of share them with our community. So I look forward to it, and have a great day. Happy taroting.